Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, I do feel some new energies that have come in. The energy that I've been reading this morning feels there's a little bit of a shift. There's like this whole new group of people that are coming in. So if you're new here, please hit subscribe and share this with anybody that you think might resonate with me or the readings. And for everybody, whether you're new here or not, go ahead and hit the like button. If you end up not liking the reading, go back and hit the unlike button. But I know so many times I'll watch a reading and I'll get to the end of it and I'm just so engrossed in integrating what the message was and what it meant for me in my life. And I'll forget to hit the like button. And I really do want to support the readers that support me. And I would really appreciate your support too. So that being said, if you don't know me, I also get messages from music. So I have my music on right now. I will be pausing every once in a while just to listen to if the lyrics are kind of pulling me in. And what else was I going to talk about? Oh, the Reiki. So I always infuse all of my readings with Holy Fire Reiki energy and the Violet Flame for this one especially. So if you get nothing else out of the reading, at least just set the intention that you're willing to absorb the Reiki energy and you'll receive a little bit of healing and light and expansion from it. And all you have to do is open up and receive. This reading has to do with, I was asking, what is the collective going through right now? What is it that they most, what is their present energy and what are they most wanting to know? And I was just getting it for my own information, then I was going to pull a different spread. But I wanted to read these cards and let you know what it was that was coming out. The music that I have on is Shawn Mendes, which is interesting because I don't really listen to his music very much, but it'll be songs that are similar to that too. It's the station, not just his songs. But I just do what I'm told. I just meditate on it ahead of time and they tell me what music to put on. That's significant for someone. There's some sort of connection in that for someone. Just listening to a song. So I tried to do this reading a couple of times, and in the middle of it, it just kind of stopped short. There is the energy of heartbreak that's present, and there's a real desire to find peace, to make peace. These are the cards that came out. 6 of Swords, Knight of Swords, 7 of Swords, lots of swords, Page of Wands. And if you notice too, I always take notice of which way they're all facing. She's facing this way, he's facing that way, he's facing this way, he's facing this way. It's this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, wanting to move forward but being pulled back by the past, being pulled back by old thoughts, by old patterns, and those old patterns create the vibration of the reflection of that in real time. So what I mean by that is if you feel not good enough or not chosen or you're healing, or there's an abandonment wound there, the reflection of that is going to show up in your life. So a person is going to come in and take you back into that old story. It could be someone from the past keeps coming in and keeps dragging you back to a place of unrest and being up in your head and not being in your heart. This kind of person is a reflection of something you're telling yourself in your head, that you're not worthy or you're not good enough, or it could be a boss too. You're always getting jobs with the same kind of boss and they're telling you that you're not qualified enough or what you do isn't good enough or whatever. But it's this back and forth and back and forth, and that's kind of where you are right now. And it's coming from a place of real heartbreak. Like you're trying to rectify this heartbreak inside of you. And it's like you can't nail it down. But what I'm hearing is you're kind of breaking your own heart with these believing these old things about yourself. Believing what these people told you. There have been people in your life, the pattern of someone in your life who drains the crap out of you. Who comes in and really is mesmerized by you and how charismatic you are and how, I just heard how very Gemini of you, like this wit and this charm and this spark and this life about you. And they're drawn to that. And at some point, there's this program in you that wants to continue to please them and to impress them or whatever it is. And you end up shifting into what you think they will like about you instead of being authentically you. And you move away from who you truly are and you lose yourself in these relationships. That's what I'm hearing, is you lose yourself. And the authentic you, the real you, keeps trying to pull you forward. And the real reflection of that, I was getting some clarifiers and stuff too. I got another deck out and shuffled it in order to get clarifiers for some of these, and this one flew out, this Page of Wands again. But this Page of Wands is facing forward. Facing forward. This one was facing backwards, trying to please everybody else, repeating this old story, repeating the fact that I need to dim my light in order to help other people shine, or I'm intimidating to other people, and so I need to dim my light. And it's an old story that's not true. These people, this person, whoever it is, took that from you. They just drained you. They just took your light and fed off of it, whether they knew they were or not. And you face there, and it's like, because of an abandonment wound, because it was more important to have them in your life, regardless of how they showed up, than to not have them in your life at all and to feel alone or to feel like you weren't chosen or to feel like you were rejected. It's like you protected yourself by continuing to allow the draining, and this like overt kind of rejection was there anyway. But I just needed their presence in my life in order to feel confident and safe but eventually, you know, whatever kind of adoration was there about who you are, they kind of drained that out of you anyway. And you lost that because you were trying to shift and adapt into what you think they would want you to be. And you ended up not being what it was that you were in the beginning when they, you know, were attracted to you or magnetized to you or whatever it was. It could be that they were magnetized to you because you were meant to go through this phase of dismantling those old programs and wounds and things like that. But that's where you are right now. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to feel the loss of yourself, to recognize that you kind of lost yourself. But what's happening right now is you're starting to see. You've really been up in your mind so much, but here, there is still that spark inside of you that is meant to shine, that is meant to inspire people without being drained. There is a new group of people that are coming in. And it feels like with this eclipse, I wanted to say that too, that we have the eclipse coming up this weekend, and I'm not going to talk very much about the eclipse other than to say that there is another reader or another reading that you're supposed to listen to or that you're going to be drawn to that's going to complement the energy and the transmission of energy that I'm sending to you through what I'm channeling right now, along with that other reading. So there's another reading that you're really going to resonate with when it comes to details about the eclipse. And the collaboration of the energies that we're channeling right now are meant to come together and activate you in a certain way. They're supposed to collaborate, okay? So the way that I see the eclipse and new moon energy too is so these readings are timeless too. Whether you have an eclipse coming up tomorrow or a new moon or a full moon or whatever it is, wherever you are at this space and time, if you were guided to this reading, the energy that an eclipse represents, the way that it magnetizes and the frequency that it is, that's what's present in your life right now, whether there's eclipse going on or not. That's the shift or the energy that's present in your life. So take that however it resonates for you. But if you're here, you're meant to be here, whether there's an eclipse or not. That's what I meant to say. When the moon is eclipsed, and this is a lunar eclipse, when the moon is eclipsed, at night, in the dark, if the moon is super, super bright, there's so much that you can't see. But when it's eclipsed, or when it's a new moon or something, there's so much that you can see in the darkness that you never would have seen before. There are stars out there that you don't notice when the moon is lit up like crazy. So they're showing me that there's a heartbreak that you've been healing that has caused you to kind of just go into a protective mode, into self-preservation. It's like when you have surgery or something, your body goes into this state that is in just trying to recover, like helping to heal itself. And it's almost like this self-imposed hermit mode that you've kind of gone in. And it's a result of kind of shutting your heart down and dimming your light. But it's okay, because this phase in your life has been really, really important. It's been important to see the patterns in your life, to remove these old programs and these things that you're telling yourself in your mind, in order to reignite this spark inside of you in a more bold, powerful way. Girl, you're amazing just the way you are. You don't need to change anything about yourself. And you're learning how to not dim your light when others around you feel intimidated by your light. You're amazing just the way you are. That's the song that's on right now. This is a message from someone specifically, and it's kind of a group of people in your life. The way that you're seeing these other stars that you wouldn't have seen before, the way I see it is there are other people, another group, a soul group of people who are coming in, who are light shiners themselves, star seeds themselves, who are totally amped up by you. When you shine your light, the charisma that you have, the spark that you have, lights them up in a way that is anything but draining. It is not this energy anymore. It is not this people-pleasing kind of spark that you have inside of you in order to keep them around or in order to keep them from leaving, if that's the old pattern. This is the kind of spark that everyone inspires each other. You activate them to become more themselves. You inspire them to do the things that they've been scared to do, or to be seen in a way that they have never been seen before. So this eclipse, it feels like, is a really big one for calling in and allowing in the energies of those who are meant to help support you and who you are meant to support. And it feels like a new group of people. So this heartbreak you've kind of gone into a little bit of a protective mode, and they're showing me that your feminine, which is represented by the moon, your feminine has dimmed her light just a little bit. And she did that in the past, did that in the pattern of allowing the masculine's light to shine, allowing the man to shine. And the reasons for that were old programs, old templates. This is a man's world, and a woman is, behind the scenes and supporting him, but this is his role, and she's supposed to dim her light in order to support him, and blah, blah, blah. Now on your journey, this has a different meaning for you. Throat chakra. This is about not dimming your light in order to help someone else shine. It's about mastering the feminine intuition. Sometimes your intuition is shut down by spirit a little bit in order to allow the masculine inside of you to rise. In order for the masculine inside of you, the action-oriented, so that you could create steps towards like doing something that you love. Taking away your intuition has shown you how I don't want to do anything that's mundane. I don't want to do anything that doesn't have emotion involved in it. It's like inspiring your masculine to create the situation where the feminine can shine, where your emotions and the way that you put pieces of the puzzle together, the way that you operate, the way that your brain operates, this eclipse and dimming the light of the feminine has had a purpose for you now, because the masculine is in the process of creating this space for the feminine to then shine. So it's like this intentional backpedaling and introspection that is showing you, it's like you've been doing things that you don't like to do. You've been doing things that you don't like to do, or you've been offered the opportunity to do something or to have a job that pays the bills or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's just a job and it's not something that you love. Getting involved in that and having it kind of drain you has had a purpose, because it's meant to show you that I want to live now. I don't want to do anything that doesn't inspire me, that doesn't help shine my light, that isn't surrounding me with people who support me and who I can support in their passions, in creativity, in creating the life and the energy that keeps me facing forward in this way and stops replaying and stops draining me. There is an old pattern of people who used to drain you. So I also asked, what is it that they need to do? So what do they need to do to find peace? To make peace with their thoughts. To make peace with, it's like this other person, there's a person specifically who came in really, really quick. It was like whirlwind energy and massive. It's like it ignited your intuition and it ignited your ascension and your connection, kind of brought in all of these downloads and, but it came in all of a sudden. It was like this magnetic kind of, this magnetic kind of knowing. It's like a whirlwind. It was supposed to be a catalyst for you. This person was supposed to be a catalyst for you. But it wasn't meant to be more than that. It wasn't meant to be more than that. Okay? That's for some of you. The fox on this right here is standing out to me too. And in my neighborhood, there's been a lot of foxes lately. So fox spirit is present. And sometimes it can be very sneaky and sly. But sometimes it's also about being crafty. It's about discernment, figuring out discernment. This person in your life was meant to help you to understand ego thoughts versus intuition and how to move forward and how to move back into your heart, how to regain your spark, how to really tune back into the passions in your life. It's like you were passionate about something and then they came in and you lost yourself and then you lost them. They took off and left with, they got everything that they needed and you were left with, facing backwards, looking back at the way that you used to be and the spark that you used to have. And it's like reinvigorated it in you. It's like giving you this passion that I was on the right track. And this is exactly what I wanted to do. And you just like clarified that for me. Thank you so much for doing that. That who I am is exactly who I'm meant to be and I'm meant to show this to the world and I'm meant to help people and those old patterns are just, it's time to go. I don't want to be anything but who I am, and I love who I am. It's like this charismatic, passionate person. You were meant to feel into that even more and to appreciate that side of you by having it kind of drained away, by looking at the pattern of how you abandoned yourself and abandoned who you really were because of the reaction of other people, because it intimidates other people, because your light shines and shows the shadows of other people that they find it hard to address. There's a lot of people in your life who will not go within. They will always blame. They will always project. It's never about them. They're not doing enough of the work to heal within themselves and to recognize the place that they dim themselves or they drain other people or whatever it is. Okay? So the Six of Swords is about finding peace. It's about moving forward and into peaceful waters. I want to make peace with these old thoughts that don't serve me, that I'm not exactly where I need to be. So what is it that, that's what I said, is what is it that they need to do? So the Tower. There is a huge trigger for you somewhere, maybe in this message. There's a huge trigger for you about something. You gotta let it happen. You gotta embrace it. There's an old wound there that is being triggered, and first of all was constantly triggered with this other person until you are able to see what that is, and then they don't serve you anymore. It will always be a drain for you. You gotta let it happen because it's part of the work. It's part of the work. It's part of doing the work. And there's been so much that you have put into yourself that just when you really understand that your life is shifting, the change is here. That's it. It's over. There's such beautiful things just past it. All the work that you've put in has not been a waste of time. If this is a job, it's like you're shifting careers or something like that. And working for someone else was always a drain. They always took as much as they possibly could from you because you're an overgiver. And it made you lose your spark. It made you lose your desire to even work anymore because you're the yes person. You were the yes person. You always said yes. But this type of person has always taken your peace from you. It's time to recognize that there's a huge change happening, and all the work that you've put in up to this point is leading you to it. First of all, led you to this Tower moment where your whole life is getting ready to change. And there's so much like bounty that's there. It's time to really cash in. That's what I'm hearing, is cash in on like what it is that happened to you. Like there's a trauma or there's something in your life that is part of your purpose in order to help guide other people or to lead the way. This is like a defining moment for a lot of people too. If you can embrace this huge change in your life, because you can see just beyond it, it's seeing beyond it. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands over here. Look at the way the path is lit for everything that you're manifesting. You have manifested this Tower moment, this change, this shift in your life. You've actually been putting in a lot of work towards it happening. There is resistance in allowing it to happen because, we always have fear of change. But this is just telling you that, Ten of Pentacles. For some of you, this is about a job. For some of you, this is just about abundance and joy and happiness. There is serious, serious happiness ahead of getting through this phase of your life. Just know that you're in this phase of your life and your heart is hurting and you're a little bit shut down because you're mourning the loss of the old you and the old patterns and releasing those because you don't necessarily know how to be without being in a kind of survival mode and holding on too tight to people and trying to explain yourself to them and convincing them of who you are. You don't need to sell yourself to other people. Okay? If you're trying to start a business or whatever it is, the authentic you, when you really embrace who you are and get that spark back inside of you, you don't need to sell yourself. There's hardly any marketing you're going to need to do at all. You just need to do exactly what it is that you love, and you are going to magnetize people to you. You've been working on it all along. You just needed to shift and release this old people-pleasing way of being. Because you will never convince other people that you are good enough. Those that know your worth will be drawn to you because you know your worth. There is no proving yourself to other people. You just go out and you do it. Okay? All of this, you've been leading up to all of this. It's time to, God, what is the word that I'm looking for? Said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. Shut up and dance with me. For some of you, this is about love. For some of you, this is about money. For some of you, this is about your career. This breakup, if you just went through a breakup too, it's going to be, when you get through the heartbreak phase, the heartbreak is the mourning of the loss of that old program, because the future, it's just like, if I don't go by the past, if I don't go by what I used to know, then how can I be? How do I be? The unknown is really scary. And that has always, in the past, caused you to go into survival mode and protect yourself and plan and go up into your head. This is a whole new way of being. I'm hearing ADD too. So for some of you, this is about making peace with your ADD, making friends with it, and not looking at it as a limitation, but looking at it as a friend that you need to foster and give the tools for it to thrive. There are certain areas, there are certain jobs, there are certain types of relationships, there are certain people that you connect with who help to foster the beauty of the way that your brain works. And it's different than a lot of other people. And so embracing it and knowing that it's part of your magic, it's part of your, it's part of your medicine, is what's going to help it to grow, and it's going to draw people into your life who give you the tools that you need to master it, to maintain it, to give it the best environment that it needs in order to thrive. It's almost like I see a headhunter for a job that searches for people who have ADD and who function in a certain way, because they understand that brain and they know that the way these people put puzzle pieces together, if given the right environment, they can make millions of dollars for these people. And they want to support that in you because they understand how valuable it is, and they're in awe of how you do that. And so, that the money is reflected in that way too. Like, that's what I'm seeing. The path is lit up. 2929 on my recording. That's 1111. The numbers break down to 1111. So this path is lit up for you. You just have to choose. You just have to recognize that you do have the choice. And all you have to do is find your spark. Be the spark. Be that light. It's like your higher self is that light guiding you. You already have all the answers. You already know which way you're supposed to go. And he's off on this trek by himself, right? But it's all he needs. This is something that you've been manifesting. There's something big here that you've been manifesting, and it does feel like money, it feels like finances, it feels like a job, but it also feels like happiness. The music that's on right now, when you tune into your heart, the music that's playing right now is about everything comes back to you. That's the song. That's what he's saying. When you walk in the room, the butterflies, they come alive. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to you. Everything comes back to you. And it's like, you are the light of my life. You're the light in the room. And it draws people to you. There is one person out there that is drawn to that light, who sees you and supports that in you and will never dim that in you. Will not let you do that, actually. You know, if you have that old pattern of dimming your light in order to help someone else shine, in order to, you know, give them all the credit or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Or to meet them where they are. Everything comes back to you. That's what I'm hearing. Everything comes back to you. Everything comes back to you. It's always about you. And there's another person that's coming in who sees that in you, who sees that spark, who wants to be the sacred container that holds space and creates the environment for you to thrive as that, as just that. This beautiful, charismatic. I just keep hearing charismatic, charismatic. Get your charisma back. Let yourself be you. And there are people who want nothing more than you. You. No more hermit. It's time to come out of the hermit phase. There is something that I'm seeing, like this blockage too, like this resistance to seeing something inside of you. There is a resistance. Okay. There's a resistance to you seeing what that is about you. What is that spark? That you're special. I'm more special than other people, or I have this power inside of me that's meant to affect other people. There is something in your heart that you're refusing to see right now, because it's so painful. And it may be that the most beautiful thing about you right now is the fact that you're sitting in the middle of heartbreak. And you're resisting showing that to people or letting them know exactly where you are, because you're just trying to get out of it, and you've isolated yourself because you can't be what everybody else wants you to be, or I don't feel like the light right now because my heart hurts so bad. And I'm processing this thing or whatever. I'm in the middle of this tower moment. And so you keep it to yourself and you don't let that shine. There's so much beauty in the pain sometimes too, because you're going through something that is magical. You're going through a transformation and you're mourning the old loss of yourself because you love all the parts of yourself. You even love that old version of you that led you to this point. And so mourning the loss of that version of you, mourning the loss of a person in your life who reflected that version of you, is a really beautiful thing, and it shows you how deeply you're able to love. But you're keeping that to yourself. You're not showing other people. You're not sharing the heavier side of yourself. You're not sharing. You think you only need to show up in a place where you have all your shit together and you know all the answers. Do you know what the answer is right now? The answer is, my heart hurts really bad. And that's where I am. And I'm just embracing it. I know that there's so much purpose in this. I'm not going past this moment. I'm not going to the past. I'm not going to analyze why. I'm not going to go to the future and say, well, but beyond this is really, really beautiful things and blah, blah, blah. Just for right now, I'm in the middle of it, and that's where I am. Okay? That's where I am. That's where I am. Feel me? Yeah, I feel you. I see you. I see you there. I know how that is. I know exactly how that is. Let's just sit. You wanna order a pizza? You wanna go for a walk? Let's just be. I'll be with you. Okay? It allows those other people to come in that say, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I know. That's where you are. Yep. You're in the middle of a big process right now. It's beautiful. Your heartbreak is beautiful. It's showing me just a side of you and the spark inside of you that's trying to light itself. The heartbreak is the loss of that spark. And you're mourning the loss of your spark because your spark means so much to you. Because it does mean so much to you. So being in the middle of it is helping to show you the old patterns too. It's helping to show you the way that you've allowed other people to, their energies to dim you, and you abandon yourself. There's pain there. Okay? We're seeing the old patterns though, so that we don't do it anymore. That's a really amazing thing. And you're going to affect other people because of that too. So going within, really going within, go down into your heart space, drop down into your heart. 3636 on my recording. 99 breaks down to a number 9. Finding your light again. Finding your light in the darkness. That's what the eclipse is all about. It's going to show you things in the darkness that you've never seen before. Have you ever seen those beautiful stars? Have you ever seen those beautiful stars before? There are people who are meant to see you right now exactly where you are. Where are you? Where are you? Are you hurting? Okay, let me know. Let me know. Are you just like in this spark right now? Have you been through all of this and you're feeling the pull to help other people because you resonate with this and you resonate with the fact that people are there in that place right now? And did you already move through this? Did you find some spark of knowledge about these types of relationships and the illusion that they were? Did you find that? And you want to share it with people? Put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Find that spark. Be the spark. Okay? You're so needed right now. Just listening to the song real quick to see if there's any last minute messages. Just heard no more, no more. All right. Echo, what song is this? I Know What You Did Last Summer by Shawn Mendes. Camila Cabello. For some of you, this is about betrayal, the energy of betrayal, and all that work that I put in, and then they just betrayed me and moved on to somebody else or whatever it is. For some of you, that's specifically what this is about, is betrayal, feeling betrayed. And it could be, like a boss situation too, where you have put in everything that you've given, everything that you could have given and more to this job, and then they ended up giving the promotion to somebody else, something that they promised when they brought you on or something like that. Those are a couple specific situations, but the energy of betrayal. And it's a result of you having betrayed yourself and lost your spark and been a people pleaser and not been true to your authentic self. And so you betrayed who you really were. You abandoned who you really were by not creating boundaries, by letting yourself be affected by other people's energy and making decisions according to other people's reaction or the fear of other people's reactions, which drains you because you're so invested, because you're so open. And And it's about, and it's going to draw other people into you who will continue to betray you. Now is the time where you see that pattern and understand where you abandoned yourself and didn't create the boundaries that you needed to create. Those boundaries are going to move people out of your life because boundaries make other people uncomfortable and they can't take what they want to take. But it's what all the work has been leading towards in order to create a really stable environment for yourself, because that's where you thrive. So all this work that you've been putting in has been leading to, these betrayal situations were so important to mirror that to you. You have to go within and see what does that mirror inside of you? How have you betrayed yourself? And how can you shift that and bring your spark back? I deserve so much better. I deserve so much better. That is your affirmation to help get your spark back. I deserve so much better. I deserve so much better. I am more than this. I am more than this. And I am ready to be through the phase where I learned that being lesser or dimming my light is no longer a part of who I am. I'm not even capable of doing that anymore. I choose to be me. I choose to be happy. I choose to be sad. I choose to be real. That's what it is. I choose to be real. I choose to be authentic. And the spark of that authenticity is about you knowing what you deserve and knowing who you are. That's what this eclipse is bringing forth. You knowing who you are. You're finding yourself right now. And it's really hard. It's really hard to do. Okay? It takes pain, blood, sweat, and tears. But there are so many of us who are in that place or who have been through that place, who feel you, who are supporting you, who are creating the sacred container for the dismantling of anything that doesn't support you being you. Okay? If you need help with that, or you want a private reading, you want to dig into this more for yourself, go over to my website. All the information is down in the box below. I would love to help you with this. And let me know down in the comments how this resonated for you. It feels very powerful. It feels like the energy of this weekend and this eclipse season is really shifting so much for so many people. But we can't overlook the shift itself and the intensity and sometimes the pain that it causes and the mourning that needs to happen in order for us to really come back inside of ourselves and see the patterns in ourselves in order to take our power back. This really is about taking your power back from other people, from anyone else. Okay? All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.